Right now, to the brother that called in earlier, there are land papers before slavery in my people name here. How was it? Because when the Europeans came here, what Roger is talking about, we gave a lot of people some spots to settle. But they took those spots and wanted bigger spots. My people right now, the Chahta, they took on the end from our people, I'm talking about the end of the big take, 25 million acres of land by removing my people from here to Oklahoma. That was the last of their land, 25 million acres of land. And it was people that looked like me. What Andrew Jackson did was he appointed some Europeans. I want you to know how I'm here, brother. My grandfathers were a generation of chiefs. I come from a line of chiefs. I'm from a royal family of chiefs. What the Europeans did was took my people, took the women and the children, and some European that Andrew Jackson was friends with, appointed them as chiefs. Left the original chiefs back here. Took the white chief that he appointed, which into Oklahoma is, as you know today, as Indian Territory. Indian Territory was set up by mixed breeds. Okay? Yeah. The people that signed the treaty was either non-native or mixed breeds. The full breeds was left back here. And after a while, they infiltrated us into what we know as African American today. I'm not saying we're not family from back in time. I'm saying I was just here. Some come by slave ship. I came here years before by entrepreneurship. Either way it go, brother, we in here on the same ship. When Katrina hit, it didn't stop to see which ship brought you in. The first one or the second one. And this is what I'm challenging my brothers and sisters to do. Let's see what ship we in now. And what can we do to stop up and plug up some of these holes before we sink even deeper.
Okay, guys, so what you were just listening to was Chief Warhorse of the Chahta and Native American Indian tribe in Louisiana. And I wanted to share this because I have been doing a little bit of research on Native Americans, as well as doing my ancestry tree on Ancestry.com. And for those of you who have followed me, you have heard me say before that my mother's father, my grandfather, was Native American. His mother was Native American. Unfortunately, I was not able to meet him before he passed away, or his mother, so I don't know much about what tribe they were from or anything like that, but I do know that they were from the Chicago, Illinois area. Well, at least he was. So anyway, I wanted to share this really quickly because there's some things that I wanted to point out. First of all, I wanted to point out that Native Americans here first, again, as I've always said, the first ones here were dark colored, copper colored like her. And then also I want to point out the correlation, the simulation between African Americans and Native Americans, Indigenous Americans, and how we tie back to Africa. And you heard her say that I'm not saying that we're not from the same family back in time. She just wants to point out that her lineage of people were in the Americas long before the transatlantic slave trade began to happen. And so that's important to me because, you know, if you look at it, like I said, my grandfather is Native American, or was Native American. I'm pretty sure I might have some more on my other side of my family. I'm not even sure, but I do know for a fact that that's a part of it. But if you look at my ancestry DNA results, over 90% of it points back to Africa. So I wanted to make the correlation because I don't want people to get confused thinking that, well, let me say it like this. I don't perceive Native Americans as being non-Africans, and I'm using African loosely only because of the fact that I know that Africa was named after the explorer Leo Africanus, and so African was not necessarily a term that we gave ourselves. We called ourselves by nationality, whether it be Israelite, whether it be Ethiopian, whether it be Egyptian, whatever. So I'm using the term African loosely, but that's just a common phrase. But I believe that Native Americans, Indigenous Native Americans, the copper-colored ones, and African Americans, you know, and Israelites alike, all go back to African, so-called, African lineage and ancestry, because whether or not the Native Americans were in America before we came over on the ships, we all still go back to Adam and Eve, and those two people originated on the continent of Africa at Kebulan, whichever, whatever you want to use. And so I also want to point out some of her tribal wear. And if you notice that she said that she comes from a long line of royal tribal Native American chiefs. And I wanted to point out the correlation between, if you look at what she has here, I'm going to show you another picture, but if you look at what she has here around her neck, it's very similar to, let me just show it now. This is a full picture of her. It's the same woman you were just listening to, Chahta Indian, and you can see here she has the beaded neck dress with the beaded fringes. Now, here's another picture of it. I'm trying to go as quickly as I can to get this in 10 minutes. Beautiful hair, just like my mother's before my mom cut hers, and she's locking her hair now. But anyway, beautiful hair, and you can still see the same neck dress and well, that's horse-tail. I thought it was fringes, but it looks like horsehair. But anyway, if you look at her beaded dress, you can see the same thing here with the Igbos. Now, this is a royal, this is a men's groom garment, and I've seen it also applied to royalty with Igbos, but it's the exact same thing, the exact same style, Here's another one. This one actually says chieftaincy. So this is what Igbo chiefs would wear. Same exact thing that she has on. The fringes are a little different. The bead work is a little bit more different colors, but it's the exact same concept. You can see the same similar shape. Now, some of them have them open and some of them have them connected. Another thing I want to show is the Hosa. They have the exact same thing. Now, in this picture, it's kind of hard to see it right here, but I'm going to show you some other pictures where you can see that better. But you can see the same exact thing here, and the fringe is coming down here. I think she has one similar around her neck. There might be a necklace. You can see the same beaded around his neck with the fringes. Same thing, okay? Let me see if I can find another picture. And this one here, this is a Hosa traditional wedding, a groom. Same exact concept. Beaded around the neck, beaded, and then it has the fringes, just like the Native American woman, just like the Igbo tribe people that I was going to show you. Same thing here. It was a similar thing here that Nelson Mandela has on. He was of the Hosa tribe as well. And then here's that same, this is just regular beaded Igbo jewelry for women. Same concept, okay? It's beaded around the neck. This one's closed in the center, but it has a similar fringe detail on the end, as you can see, fringe detail. Now, what would be the coincidence that these people are not of the same ancestral lineage, pointing back to Jacob, Israel, but yet and still, even though we're scattered all over the place, we still have very similar customs and ways of dressing, especially as it relates to chieftaincy. And same thing here, same similar build. Like I said, she's a chief. She comes from a long line family of chiefs, and she has that same exact build around her neck. Now, you also can relate, you can also see some of the feathers that we have. Like the Zulu loves the feathers, the feathered headdresses. Let me see if I can pull that up really quickly. But and I'm pointing this out because it's a quick, just very quick way to point out and look at it and say, hey, wow, these people are in South Africa, are Native Americans, or West Africa, but yet and still, they still have very similar dressing. And how is that, not a coincidence? And so I do agree with the camps where they say that Native Americans are, are Israelites, but I don't agree with them saying that the white, Asian, Bering Strait invaders are Native Americans. Are not Native Americans, but are Israelites. The Israelites from Jacob's line are black people, Negroid people, for lack of a better phrase. And if you want to watch the video, I will leave the link down below. It's about a 45-minute interview. It's from 2009, but it's a very good interview. And if you listen to it and if you watch it, you will hear him mention that Jacob was black himself. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were black because she quote herself and said, which we know is in the scripture too, but she definitely said herself in the interview, Jacob married within his tribe. He married his cousins. He married the daughters of Laban and their handmaidens. So they would be black too. So I just wanted to point that out really quickly. As you can see, my time is coming to an end. But this video here, this brother here says that they are the tribe of Gad. I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't know the breakdown like that. I'm not going to say he's wrong. I believe that they are definitely a tribe of Israel. But, anyway, I'm just going to share the link below for you guys. If you want to watch it, feel free to click the link below and watch it. And I'll see you all in the next video. Shalom, shalom.